Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship rolls to the Pacific Northwest as Washougal Motocross Park hosts the Peterson Cat National, round 8 of a dramatic 2011 championship fight. Who would win? How would it shake up the points? We get all the coverage right here on the Racer X Motocross Show next on AllySports.com. It's the Racer X Motocross Show on AllySports.com. We head into Washougal with Ryan Dungey taking a win at his home track last weekend, and Ryan Villopoto looking to take one at his home track this weekend. And no surprise, it's the two Ryans duking it out off the start. The 1 and the 2 are side by side. Villopoto's going to edge Dungey out in the early lead with Justin Brayton and Trey Kennard right there. Not pictured though, Chad Reed, who got blocked in turn 2 and lost a bunch of ground early. Then Villopoto put a bunch of ground between himself and Dungey by checking out. Look at the gap between the 2 and the 1. And Trey Kennard was running strong early in third, trying to challenge the Ryans. They would get away from Kennard in the latter stages of the moto, but he would hold on for third. As for Reed, he had a tough time just getting into the top 10. Here he is battling his Australian buddy Michael Byrne. Reed would end up in 7th. Midway through the race, and just like at Millville, Dungey started to find his groove, and he would catch Villopoto and challenge him for the lead, and the fans were treated to a great battle. Check it out for the whoops. Villopoto's going to jump, Dungey's going to skim. Dungey tries for the lead, but Villopoto's able to beat him to the spot. Dungey's going to try for the lead again. Villopoto beats him to the spot again, and then Dungey washes out in a berm on the outside and goes down. Villopoto holds on to take the moto win over Dungey and Kennard. Moto number 2, it's Dungey and Villopoto battling for the start. Again, it was a carbon copy at the start of Moto 1, but then Kennard would go down with a vicious crash. Fears are he might have rebroken the leg that he broke at the beginning of this series. And then we had a red flag and a restart, and this time Dungey would actually edge out Villopoto early. For the first lap and a half, Villopoto did everything in his power to get around Dungey, but after that, Dungey was able to edge away slowly but surely. And this time, the home track specialist was not going to get the win, as Dungey was looking for a repeat of what he did at Millville. Brett Metcalf rode strong, 4th in Moto 1. He would pass Reed for 3rd early in Moto 2, and Reed would not be able to get him back. That's going to make 2 Suzukis on the podium. Metcalf 3rd. Villopoto was 2nd in the other Suzuki, and Ryan Dungey has won 2 in a row. As for Reed, 7-4 on the day. Dungey and Villopoto closing in on points rapidly. Villopoto is going to take the red plate by 1 over Dungey, with Reed bumped back to 3rd. Here's the results at Washougal.
You know, I think it is a little bit of a turning point for my season. Obviously, first podium finish is good. But my riding is really starting to come around a little bit. And I think, you know, the way I finished last year's championship, I'm starting to get back to that point of riding.
I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. I mean, obviously in the lights class, I've had problems, bike problems one year, a pretty big crash another year. But as for today, I think everything was going well. Just didn't have it towards the end of the moto there in the second moto.
Savage. Freaking thing, man. I can't get some soda. Thanks, Jeff. All right, the 250 class back in action. Marvin Muscown on the 125. We're all waiting to see if someone can break up this Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki juggernaut at the top of the series. And we basically just cut that audio from previous post shows because we say that every week. Well, apparently it's not going to happen, because guess who's out front early in Moto number 1? It's Blake Baggett in the 57. He's going to get to the inside here on Justin Barcia, steal the lead in turn 2. And if you give Baggett a good start, you might as well just give him a moto win, because he's been tough to stop, even coming from the back. Ryan Sipes would actually challenge Baggett early and take the lead momentarily, but Baggett would get him back. Tyler Rattray was in the hunt as well. Here's Baggett getting the #1 spot back from Sipes. Then Sipes would come under fire from Tyler Rattray. Yes, another Kawasaki rider. Rattray would get to second, but he would not be able to track down Baggett. How about Tommy Week, a local product? This is the only race he would race all year. He would ride and finish in 6th. An amazing performance for him. No stopping Baggett and Rattray. Kyle Cunningham would take 3rd. Sipes would fade back through the pack. Dean Wilson, after a bad start and a fall, would end up in 5th. He wasn't happy. So your series points leader is going to grab the whole shot and take those frustrations out on the field in moto number 2. Tough start for Will Hahn. He would have to come through traffic after that crash. Rattray was up to 2nd early to challenge Wilson as Gareth Swanepoel ran 3rd, and Baggett had a bad start of his own in this one. He would have to come through. This is no surprise that Wilson and Rattray match each other on speed. They did it all day long last weekend at Millville. Here's Baggett finally getting up to 4th, challenging Swanepoel, and this would be big. If Baggett takes over 3rd, that's going to give him a 3-1 and the overall win. He makes the pass, and with that, he's going to take the overall win, unless Tyler Rattray can get around Wilson for the win. And here we go, right down to the checkered flag. Rattray closed in, couldn't find running room. Dean Wilson is going to take the checkered flag, the moto win. That pushes Rattray back to 2nd overall. Baggett takes the win, Wilson in 3rd. So another sweep at the podium. That's 5 sweeps in 8 races for Kawasaki. Dean Wilson is still your points leader, but the gap is closer than ever. Great racing in the 250 class.
Then I started following Dean and was taking his lines, and they seemed to be a bit better, and managed to put a charge on at the end, and yeah, just wasn't enough. He was riding awesome, and yeah.
Almost seems like to get an overall these days you have to go 1-1, except Blake went 1-3, but I've had like 3 of those and haven't won an overall, so I don't know. I mean, if consistency is what it takes to take a championship, then obviously I'm going to take it, but I'd love to win some overalls.
Second moto was probably a typical Blake Baggett moment. Not a very good start, and then made my life a little bit hard. Had to pass a few people, and then had a crash. It was just a tip over, but I had to pick it up, spin the bike around, passed a few people back, and then I took out some fencing up on the top of the hill that I guess it was in my way, but really it wasn't. I was just off the track, and I had no clue I won. I thought I got like 4th or 5th. You know, I seen 4th on the pit board, but I thought Sean meant that I needed to get to 4th, you know, to be on the podium. I had no clue what place I was in. So, yeah, when he was holding up the #1, I was looking at him like, what are you talking? Did you hit your head? And he's like, you won? No way.
All right, we are fortunate here, joined by now 2 in a row winner in this series, and last year's champ, Ryan Dungey. Are you feeling it now, or is it just happen to be 2 in a row because of good circumstances, or do you feel you're riding that much better?
Well, I definitely think, you know, going into these last couple races to get this win before the big break was important. You know, I think we had a race there that definitely took a lot of points away from us in Texas, but you know, I think from that point forward, just keep moving on, and I think there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of racing, a lot of points up for grabs, but we got this little break. I think we can take some time, enjoy it a little bit, but get back to work, get ready for Unadilla.
Now, everyone in the media, myself included, we overanalyze this stuff, we overthink this stuff, and all year everybody's like, Dungey's close, but he's not getting the wins. When's he gonna get more aggressive? When's he gonna go for it? And here we go. You just keep doing your thing, and the wins are coming. So
well,
are we just wrong?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I go out there to give it nothing less than my best.
Yeah.
I mean, to go to every one of these races, even back in Supercross, to win races is the goal, you know, and that gives us the maximum points. But, you know, I think as the outdoor was coming along, you know, the beginning started good and just trying to keep the momentum rolling, and got a win there at Colorado, which was really a big help, step in the right direction, and then Millville now here in Washougal. But hey, you know, we go out to win there, and it's tough circumstances. You know, it's tough racing. It's mentally challenging and physically, for that matter, and the pace is high, so just got to keep plugging away.
Well, I guess I'll put it this way then. When you want to win and you're getting 2nd and 3rd and you're coming so close but you're not getting it, how tempting is it to try to change things massively, even though it might actually be worse? Like, you apparently are just sticking with the program all along.
Well, I think it's important to try certain things and to have an open mind. It's really key. But, you know, I feel that the pace is so fast, and we're all so close.
Yeah.
You know, it's just little minor adjustments. I was talking in the press conference. It's just little bits and pieces. And you know, it's like I was saying, it's amazing what one click of on the suspension, front or rear, to help you adjust to feeling better out there. It's amazing what it'll do. But no, I mean, I think we're trying stuff. I think we're trying to stick till we know what works. And if something better we feel comes about, then we try it. But it's tough, man. I mean, there's some things you try and like, oh, it's better, and then you get to the race and it's not better.
Right.
So it's a really important. You really know if it's better or it's not before you put it to the test. But
just take us through the motos here real quick. You were behind Villapoto in Moto 1. You almost got him, and then what happened?
I got right up on him. You know, I felt like I found some good lines, settled in real nice, but then I thought I had the pass made, and then he pinched me off, so I got out of the line, went to the outside in the next corner, and I went to bank off this little pile of dirt. It wasn't too solid, and my back end just spun right around. But you know, I figured, you know, second on the first moto, it's still enough to if we got the win in the second moto for the overall.
And you started behind him, then we had a restart, and then you were ahead of him. Was it a sense of relief? You finally were up front in first place on the first lap. Yeah, well, it was really crazy, that restart. You don't really ever see red flags, and I really hope that everything is okay with Trey and stuff. And but you know, it's what it was, and we had to, you know, gear up and get ready for the restart and go out there and still get the job done, no matter what. But got the whole shot, which was definitely a good one of the year, and was able to take it from there, which you know, that's what we work hard for, and sprinting in the beginning and keeping the lap times good. And it was nice to get the win and the overall in the day. You are 1 point away from getting that red plate back that you lost at Texas, so you got to be feeling good. Absolutely. I mean, it's been a work in progress. Times have been tougher. You know, it's those days that you want to just give up and quit. You got to keep pushing, and we have. You know, I think from the team and myself, it was a tough one, that Texas round. But you know, we got to rebound. We got to regroup, come back, and it'll be that much sweeter. And I think it'll mean that much more to pull something like this off. All right. Well, congratulations, man, and thanks for the time. Thank you. That's Ryan Dungey with a huge crowd building behind the cameras to get some autographs, so we'll let you take care of that. Thanks for watching the RacerX Motocross Show on Ally Sports. We'll see you in a couple weeks at Unadilla.